people, you guys already, you're all talking specific crypto already, and I haven't even started. Bitcoin Cash, XRP, Dogecoin, whatever. Nobody mentioned Ethereum, huh? Okay. So, anyway, let me set up here. Set up the microphones and say welcome. You still don't like XRP? My goodness, don't you go to Twitter? Go watch post by Jeff Goldberg, where he talks about how XRP is always faking, faking the stuff on. They're faking the attention on Twitter. So a lot of the supposed comments about the XRP are actually fake news. Kind of like the people who having fake followers on Facebook. Well, that's what they're doing on Twitter. All cryptos do that. Are you saying Bitcoin does that? That's not true, Mr. Filter, because that's what's unique about XRP. It's not true, Mr. Filter, because XRP is fake. It's run by a central organization. Any one of the coins that's centralized can generate fake attention. Something decentralized, a Bitcoin isn't going to be subject to that. Which is why I hate those centralized coins. Any centralized coin is a piece of crap. Piece of ZHIT. Okay? If you have that, it's a piece of ZHIT. I just saw Ham 1989 or somebody with a ham name on it. Yep, ham radio here. Not on, but I may need to turn it on. So thank you. Let me just set up YouTube here. I can see the comments on YouTube, but I want to close by so I can see because too small. Too small. Is that what you have, Dogecoin? I understand it's contrary to what crypto is, but being bank isn't the worst thing. Bank backed. Who's backing it? I mean, are you kidding me? Bank back. So XRP says, oh, we want to make money for ourselves. Let's send out more XRP. So that's why they'll keep getting Zuck coin. Yes, Zuck is coming up with his own coin. Yeah, there will actually be a Zuck coin. That's what is shocking. There actually will be one. So XRP was supposed to partner with Visa. Still waiting. Oh, that's all crap. I don't believe XRP centralized exchange, centralized mining and centralized everything. I mean, it's a scam. Why do you want to do a scam? So QT lady, actually FB wants to do a stable coin. FB wants to do a stable coin. So they just probably want it so you exchange money, then you can exchange it for cash, meaning it doesn't go up and down in price. Buy Zuck and crash it when timing is right. Hello, QT lady. Well, it's just one crypto. I still most invest in several. I mostly like LTC. I actually I'll talk about what I like. Hey, how are you doing, Rob? Unknown Rob, the other Rob. I'll talk about what I like. But first of all, why the Zuck is the internet privacy guy talking about zucking crypto? We fu can. Why is that? Why is the zucking internet privacy guy talking about crypto? For those who don't know me, I stopped talking about crypto when crypto crashed. I stopped talking about crypto when crypto crashed because no one wants to listen to it, but I've always been following it. We have a we have a ongoing chat for years in on Braxme on crypto, and we we trade we trade there. Yeah, everybody stopped talking about it, and I couldn't really talk about it because it'll just put me in shame. So I didn't talk about it much. But crypto is a big part of my system of beliefs in privacy. It's part of it. Why doesn't Facebook make their Farmville currency spendable IRL with crypto? They are. You're suggesting it, so they're doing it. Zuck. Not sure I want them to do anything. So 24/7 trade talk in the crypto chat on Brax. It's the future, no doubt. Blockchain has many other potential applications too. If you believe the hype, but the problem is that it's being used in a way people don't understand what blockchain means. So they did you have an adult beverage? No, this is the middle of the week. I only have adult beverages on Fridays. Uh, Rob is Satoshi. Oh my gosh, I wish I were that rich. The future doesn't exist. Yes, and hey, flat Earth guy, have you ever heard of skip propagation? I wonder how that works with a flat Earth. Skip propagation, because you point your antenna that way, and then it skips around, and you point it the other way, and it comes out shorter, so you know who you're talking to. You don't know about skip propagation? Well, it bounces up in the ionosphere and then comes back around, and it doesn't look flat to me. Doesn't look flat to me. So anyway, so welcome, folks. Welcome. So any of you who've never heard me talk crypto, yes, I've always talked crypto. The sky has a dome. Every if anyone has not heard me talk crypto, I've talked crypto for years. I'm one of the first people that this is for the benefit of YouTube. I've talked crypto for years, and I'm one of the first people to talk about it on Periscope, actually, and had a weekly show dedicated to Bitcoin and crypto on Periscope, and then which was doing so well, and then crypto dropped, and nobody watched it anymore. So I said, Zuck. So we're not going to talk about crypto anymore, but people have been asking for me to talk about it again. So here we are. And the question today is Bitcoin going to the moon? Or is the earth flat and there's no moon? Is crypto going to the moon? That is the question of today. Sorry, not crypto. Is Bitcoin going to the moon? Is Bitcoin going to the moon? Yes, eventually. So I will tell you what I can see, because unfortunately or fortunately, the trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. Okay? The trend is your friend. So I will show you that there's been a change, and there's been a change in thinking. I have no idea what the zuck happened, but it changed. It changed. What is it now? It was 7,900 a moment ago. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it in the last few minutes. The trend is your friend. So let me just show you to start off and show you what the trend is. You can't, you got to look at the trend and see where it's going. Where the zuck did I put that? Ah, there we go. Okay, there we go. That didn't show up. Why did that not show up? I don't understand. Okay, hold on. It's not, the image is not moving here. Usually when you move an image over, then it shows up, and it won't show up. Okay, darn, what's going on here? Okay, hold on. Invite Starlight. You don't have to invite Starlight. He knows what's up. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to bring the image over here, and it refuses to show up. And I don't know why it refuses to show up, but we shall leave it here for the duration of the program. I don't know why I couldn't drag that. Okay, hold on. So that's a big chart. We're going to make it smaller. Okay, we're going to make it smaller. Okay, now, except now you can't see me. Okay, so let me move the scenery here. It's crazy what I gotta do. Okay, so there we go. There we go. The daytime moon is transparently, clearly blue sky can be seen through the creator. VCH an insane star. Remember that jumped to 8K and then dropped. So anyway, so there's the chart of Bitcoin for last couple of, just showing you the last couple of years. So that's what it looked like. In fact, I remember buying the Bitcoin at the bottom of that. So to the very left of that chart, that's when I bought. And I was reluctant to buy back then. Because it's like volume down, prices up. Are you blind? Where's the volume down? Look at the green at the very end there. It's pretty high to me. Volume down? I see when it's red, the volume is low, but when it's green, the volume is up. Do you still trade coin for family? No, they all gave up, so I just bought them out. So what happens is I traded some coin for family, and then when it went down, they just said, they kind of like said, oh, I want my money out. So I actually just gave them whatever they paid for it. I took the hit and kept the Bitcoin. So I paid them what they paid for it. So if they paid $8,000 for the Bitcoin, then I just gave them their money back, and I kept the Bitcoin at whatever low price it was, and just to get them out of my hair. So I don't do anything for family now. I don't trade for the family, but I'm just hodling. Nice of me, because I don't need to worry about it. I think it's actually, it's gonna do well, and that when that happened, it was already at that very low point, and I don't think it was gonna go any lower. So, for example, my mother needed money, and I said, okay, I'll just give you the money, and consider it, clear that you're out of the investment. You didn't lose. I said you did not lose a dime. So I said you didn't lose a dime. So my mom got all of her money back. Didn't lose a dime. She used it for her birthday, and I just gave her the money, and so all the Bitcoin is mine. No more, nobody else now. So if it loses, then I lose. So that's okay. Someday people will realize Bitcoin is cash. That's great. You took but because I've been trying to tell people to buy Bitcoin, and it's a little bit of a hard sell, because you got to be patient with some of this. Got to be patient. So let me tell you what you're looking at. Let me tell you what you're looking at in the chart. I'll answer your questions. Yeah, I know some of your questions here, but I'm talking, and it's hard to change topic like we do on Periscope every 10 seconds. So, so yeah, Mr. Filter, I'll talk a little bit about that, but let me just tell you why I think things have changed. Now look at that chart. Okay, so the very very left part of that chart was in 2017. That was the mid 2017. So that's when I bought. I bought in April, May 2017, something like that. And I felt back then that I said, wow, why did I buy now? Because it was already like triple what it was a year ago, the year before. It was already triple in price from the year before. So why would I buy now? And one of you guys here had a good amount of crypto, worth a good amount back then. Not monstrously high for in plain dollar amount, but then when it went up to 20K, then suddenly he was a multimillionaire. He was a multimillionaire. I've sold some Bitcoin already. I took my investment out originally. Whatever I bought back in that June, I've already taken that out. I panic sold my during the Bitcoin civil war. Worst mistake I made in years. Okay, so I wanted to show you what happened. So it went up to, there was that big hype, and everyone and everyone's cousin started buying Bitcoin, and you see it going up to 20,000. That's a big steep thing up there. The big steep thing up there when it went up to 20,000. It was crazy, right? And we and you said, "Oh my, it's gonna go to the moon." And McAfee said he'll cut off his he's gonna cut off his junk if it doesn't reach what did he say the amount was? He'll cut off his junk if it doesn't reach that amount. Well, he may not have to cut off his junk. Not that he's not lying about that. He's lying about it. So anyway, then it crashed so much, and then it meandered about halfway point for a long time. So if you see there, 20,000, and it meandered around 10,000 for a long time. So it stayed around, somewhere around 10,000, 11,000, so people lost half the money, half. Now I'm not dumb enough to buy 20,000, so I didn't buy anything at 20,000. So where am I pointing? Okay, I didn't buy anything at that peak there. That's crazy. Okay, so you don't. That's crazy. See, look for a dip. So I may have bought some at the first dip in there, and then when it crashed big time, then that's when I was left holding the bag, and then it was very depressing for a while. And I said, okay, I'm not just going to leave it alone, and I have faith this will recover. And that whole meandering that happened over there, where it stayed at around, between 8,000 and 6,000 or so, that happened over an entire year. So it basically, if you look at it, it didn't really move much. It has a slight downturn pattern. So let me show you this to you again here. There was a slight watch where my follow where my finger is, like the portion below. So from about here to here, then there's a downturn pattern now that's very clear, with the top of those two peaks there showed a clear downturn pattern. So that was and everyone was thinking it's really going to go down, and then it kind of stabilized and then straightened out a little bit, but then all of a sudden, without any kind of warning, it just right up here, which was a few months ago, it just dropped. No explanation. It just dropped. Okay? Then for weeks and weeks and weeks, it just remained steady like that. Well, see, in anyone who understands the stock market, the way you have to do this is you have to follow the trend. The trend is your friend. So especially a long-term trend, this is a trend this is over a year worth of trending here. Okay, it's a year's worth of trending that we're talking about now. Over the last year, the trend has been reversed. The trend has reversed. So right around where it went down. So this from here on, that's about a year over here. So it reversed it. So whatever negativity there was is now gone. So now we are on a clear uptrend, and it's a long-term trend. This is not a short-term trend. This is a long-term trend, because it took a year for this to happen. This didn't just happen in a week. This is a long. It's pretty hard to break this. This is kind of a trend that will last a little bit, because it's pretty hard to break this. Now you can buy and sell based on ups and downs in here. It will go down a little bit, go up a little bit, and all that. But there's a trend, and the trend is too steep right now. It's too steep going high. It's not going to go high that fast. Whatever the trend is, it will still we will look at it and look at it over the next few months and see. It's not going to be that steep, but I'm going to tell you right now, the trend is going up. There's no doubt. There's no doubt it's going up. I mean, you got to be blind not to see that. And when that's seen, now the smart people knew right around here. Let me just right around here, when you see that little uptick right there, because that happened over a period of weeks. It slowly started going up slowly. When it started going up slowly over the weeks, was showing that the trend was changing. Okay, and then that means the big money was starting to pile in slowly. But then the big money wanted to put all the money in. That's when it moved. So that's when big money shows up. So the trend is set by big money. So big money is coming in. So stock market was not performing as well, and they said, "Hey, let's shift to Bitcoin." I don't really know what the reason. It's kind of stupid to assume that anyone would know why. But I think a lot of the negativity and all the bad news were wrung out of the system. There was everyone that had a chance to say anything bad about Bitcoin said it for years and years and years, until people said, okay, didn't pan out. All these going to crash, whatever, and people aren't going to use it. And a lot of that ended, and it's still here. Nothing negative has happened. Bitcoin's still here. You can still buy and sell Bitcoin, and everything is still stable. It's actually been stable monetarily, and that's actually good for it when it's so Kelp, don't buy any Bitcoin. You are forbidden from buying Bitcoin because apparently you don't want to be a criminal. So apparently all of us who buy Bitcoin are criminals. So anyway, so there's obviously a trend change here. Now, I don't really care what Kelp says or anybody else says about the reasons why or why you should or shouldn't or any of that. I'm just telling you, looking at this, you're going to miss out if you don't see that there is a trend. Clearly, there is a trend. And it's not the crazy trend you see up on the beginning here, when it went up so steep. Anything goes up so steep has to come down to recover, and then that's the way it is. It goes up and down. Yeah, it's a FOMO. Yeah, it's the ultimate fiat currency. Wow. Did you study economics, Kelp? Do you know what fiat means? Bitcoin is not fiat. Okay. Bitcoin is the opposite of fiat. I can't imagine that you actually would say that. Okay, Bitcoin is definitely not fiat. Okay, fiat is government-backed currency. If it's backed by the government, then that's fiat. It's not backed by the government. It's an IOU. Fiat is an IOU by the government. So it's the ultimate fiat currency. There's no fiat because there's no government involved with it. Now, I'll answer your questions, guys. Hold on to the question. I'll answer your questions specifically. It's a lot of you. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to your questions. I'm not ignoring your questions, but it's just It's just that I have to because you're going to specific that I don't really that doesn't impact on the whole. So uh, special comments. So anyway, uh, so anyway, the reason that Bitcoin is important to me personally is not just because the price is going up. I don't really care if it stays flat forever, as long as it's usable, because it's a currency that kind of allows us to stay on the background where we're not easily tracked. When you buy something from Mastercard, Visa, Facebook is tracking you and applying your Mastercard, Visa transactions to your social activity. So Bitcoin will never work. You're kind of late for that, Lucifer Sam. Kind of late for that. Kind of late for that. You should have said that up here, right there, when it was at the peak. That's the time to say that. A little late now. Yeah, Twin Mom, I'll answer that later. Okay, so fancy seeing it. So anyway, so so something changed, and apparently, all the regulatory issues, so many regulatory issues that kept big money from coming in, and nobody really has an explanation for why it dropped right here. See that drop, right there, many months ago. That sudden drop that it went from the six thousands all the way down to 30 some hundred. Nobody actually can explain what happened there because there was no news. There was no news. So and a lot of it can be manipulated. That's the problem. So but look at the little bars underneath. The bars are volume. And anything that's believe this is a weekly, each bar of the week. So we're not even done here yet. We're only that green bar in here will keep going up because it's actually pretty good volume. So the pretty good volume on the upside. When there's volume on the upside, that means big money is putting money in. Okay, so whatever the reasons is, and one of the ways that they get big money in, and one of the reasons that gets Bitcoin to go up, is when the people lose hope. So it's called capitulation. So when you have people that give up and they say, "Well, this is a lost cause. I'm gonna sell now. Went down to 30 some hundred. I'm gonna ducking sell." Now, if you sold at 3,300, and then it was at 8,500. A day ago, it was at 8,500 a day ago. It's at 8,700 right now. It was at 8,500 a moment ago, and it's like, and you sold at 3,300. You must be kicking yourself in the butt, like Monkey Man J. Monkey Man J sold all of his at 6,000. Crazy. Why would you sell it at that? We are in a worldwide asset bubble. Bitcoin is just one of them. That's sure, Lucifer Sam. So anyway, long-term wise, there's a trend change. Whether or not, everyone can say whatever they want to say. I don't really pay attention to what people say. People will say things about Bitcoin or, negative, positive. It doesn't really matter because the trend is your friend. Whatever other people say, it makes no difference because all I have to do is watch the trend. And if the trend is the way it is, then there's no doubt. Whatever, it doesn't matter what you say, whether you believe in it or not believe in it. The price is going up. I mean, that's pretty apparent here. The price is going up. Is it because you're invested in it? I don't have much invested in here. Most of my money is in stocks. I have a tiny amount in here. Okay. I'm not going to retire from what I put in Bitcoin. It's a very tiny amount, but I love it. I love watching my tiny amount. It's tiny. I don't think I have even 1% in here. Probably a fraction. I have a small amount in Bitcoin. I love it. It's because I believe in it. I actually use Bitcoin. I spend Bitcoin. Uh, I'm okay getting paid in Bitcoin, and I'm okay. I'm okay with buying things in Bitcoin, and I love it. So why? Because it's Zucking private. I have a Bitcoin credit card. I have a Bitcoin credit card, and I'm able to buy things with a Bitcoin credit card. In fact, I spent my profits on a Bitcoin credit card. But you invested a little because I don't have any money, Kelp. If I had more money, I'd invest more, but I don't have that much money. So my money is in the stock market. The trend is in American companies. The trend is in American companies. I don't know what that has to do with Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin a company? Bitcoin is, in my opinion, not. This is not the federal government's opinion. In my opinion, Bitcoin is just a currency. It's not a company. There is no company. Bitcoin does not have a, hello Mario. Bitcoin is not a localized thing. It's not in Venezuela. It's not anywhere. It's not China. You know, everyone in the world has some investment in Bitcoin. You made 30%. Well, obviously, from the bottom, I've already made, you know, more than double. If I bought on the bottom, it would have been great. So what are your thoughts on criminals using for ransom? Oh, come on, Kelp. What are your thoughts on people getting cash for ransom? It's like, come on. Use your zucking head. Use your zucking head. You know, it's like, is Bitcoin the only way to do it? Ever heard of money laundering? I mean, there's other ways to pass money around in cash, and for criminal behavior. Why are you talking about Bitcoin as it pertains to criminals? They're like such, in terms of cash, more criminals use cash than Bitcoin. It's not a real concern. No, it's a real concern for you. It was a concern when Bitcoin was a baby with hardly any transactions. In today's world, that is like non-existent. Okay, the real money laundering happens with real cash. You know, somebody buys a break-even business and then invests in it and said, "Here, I'll invest in your company." Even though you only do laundry. And why? Just give me, because you have cash flow. Then I get the cash flow. Okay. And so there you go. And I don't really care about the profits because it's money laundering. That happens all the time. So stupid argument. You know, it's like, as if you didn't know what the amount of transactions are in Bitcoin and how much of that is legit. What is the best way to buy Bitcoin with low fees? Coinbase. They're not real concerns at all. You just yes, of course, good Bitcoin is good to have. Yes. So yeah, Monkey Man Jay lost so much money because he sold at the bottom of that, or near the bottom. And as I said, I mean, I saw that, and it wasn't just Monkey Man Jay. Starlight said starts when it started to make a little bit of profit, it starts selling immediately, and I was like, "Are you sucking crazy? Look at the sucking chart. It tells you that it's gonna go more." And he sold so early, and then it went up so fast. It went up and went past everything. And I said, I'm not gonna go sell because I'm looking at it. And it's too aggressively moving, and I only saw the slowdown when it got to 8,400. How much you think my $10 in Bitcoin will grow? You could make easily $20. Coinbase, yes, Coinbase. The main characteristic of money is universal appeal. You need an interest rate. I didn't know there was an interest rate on cash. You can't have capitalism I didn't know you can have an interest rate on cash. How vested are you in altcoins? I'm going to talk about altcoins and personally my feelings on altcoins and all that. I used to do a lot of altcoins. I used to be 0 Bitcoin and 100% altcoins. So I had where's iSocial Fit? You know, iSocial Fit was big on Neo, and had Neo. I had you know, Ethereum, lots of Ethereum, LTC, and all this, Bitcoin Cash, uh, but never Bitcoin itself. So so I said, you know, I'm gonna be in alts, and then when it crashed the first time, not that. Look at the chart here. Right around here, when it went down from here. Oh no, no. I think it's right here, where my finger is. Right here, then Bitcoin crashed to this right here. But what happened was all the alts crashed uh, in multiples. Bitcoin didn't crash that much in proportion. To give you an example, Bitcoin is currently at about, you know, uh, it's close to half of what it was at the peak. Ethereum is only 25% of the peak. So all of the alts had so much of a drop. It was made, and I sensed it. I sensed that there was something going on, and something was happening, and the trust in the alts were dropping. So right around, I think right around here, or right around here, before it dropped like that, right there, I shifted to mostly Bitcoin. So from here on, I have some Ethereum, but I was like, I'd say 60, 70% Bitcoin, depending on the time. So from here on, I was mostly Bitcoin, uh, and sometimes Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash was doing well too, and the reason is that the strength, the strength of the trading in Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin meant that it was gonna survive more than the alts, and I was right. So I moved my small amounts to all Bitcoin, and of course it crashed too. So it was kind of depressing, but I just left it alone. Said, it's gonna work. Yeah, but ETH was, over 1,000 before. It's like 1,200 or whatever it is, and now it's at 250. Bitcoin was at 20 at the peak, and now it's at 8. Which one percentage wise? You can see that Ethereum has like 80% reduction versus less, just 60% for or less for Bitcoin. So Ethereum didn't fare as well. So but right around here, Bitcoin Cash started to move. Right around here, way before it split. That split really caused a problem. When Bitcoin Cash split, it really it's not worth mining coins. Hey, especially not in California. Not worth it. You're not gonna make money. You just buy it and let it sit there. It'll make more money that way. So my appreciation of alts has gone down. I'm gonna actually tell you that my interest in alts have dropped considerably. I don't get why it split. Can you explain why it did? Well, obviously a dispute. Well, the original, disputes with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and all this was because they said that Bitcoin does not have the capacity to handle large numbers of transactions. Like, they wanted to scale Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash split with Bitcoin because they said we wanted a larger space in the Bitcoin format, larger space to allow for more transactions per 20 minutes, and and kind of like LTC. LTC processes every 5 minutes, is it? And it's a larger amount of transactions. And then Bitcoin Cash said, okay, we're going to change Bitcoin and make it more flexible and increase the increase. I used to love LTC too, but when the developer of LTC sold all of his LTC, that kind of like ruined it. Then it kind of crashed. I liked LTC; was very fast for transactions, and seemed to work. Bitcoin Cash was being touted as being perfect way back when, and then I myself transacted in Bitcoin Cash, and there were times when there was no there were some blocks that didn't get processed. There was a delay, and it showed that it can't handle the volume. Bitcoin has been very steady. Bitcoin has been very steady. It just always seems to work. It always just seems to work. People say, well, it hasn't reached the transaction level. The problem with Bitcoin is at one point, the original Bitcoin, when it was in the 20,000 range, right over here, right at the peak there, the transaction cost was so high, and so it didn't make any sense to transact with Bitcoin, and they've solved that. So, and plus all the other changes they've made on Bitcoin. So something, people are realizing something is working. Yes, you can short Bitcoin on some exchanges. Yes, that's what brought it down, shorting. See that big drop in here? That's all from shorts. The reason it goes up is because of the shorts. When the shorts start to buy it back, it causes it to go up suddenly. So that's from covering. It's called short covering. So they covered the shorts and they all jumped in there. So I'm just trying to tell you that people are realizing, and I'm not trying to make a judgment about which crypto is better or not, as much as I'm just watching the market. So watching the market. So when you watch the market and you see what the trend is, and just believe in it, and I don't make it up. I just look at it and say, that's what the crowd believes. That's what big money believes right now. So, I mean, that's a big jump from here to here. That's what big money believes in right now. So I'm going to tell you that, to get from here to here is not going to be a far stretch. I'm telling you right now that it wouldn't be a far stretch that at minimum by Christmas time we might, by the end of the year, we're past this. Could we be over here? Could we be this high? I don't know, but we're going to be past this, because look at that trend. I mean, we may be here, shortly. This may be only weeks away, but I'm not sure. Short everything now, lose money then. What's that level you're pointing to? Just that high. This is about here's 8,000. Here, let me put the number back. I took the numbers out. Well, I'll just tell you. That's about 8,000 right here, where it is now. So watch my finger. That's about 8,000, and 10,000 is about here. I don't think there's going to be a problem with 10,000. That's the next stop. It's the next stop. We'll be there. Could be by next month. We're already there, or sooner. Okay, and then after that, I don't know. I mean, certainly by the end of the year, we could be here or past the chart. I have no idea. Okay, I don't have any idea. I can just tell you that looking at the way the chart is going, it's a safe bet. This will be easily reached right here. That's a safe bet. Now, will it go beyond this? If the trend continues, it has to go way beyond. Yeah. You could be at 30,000 at some point. but uh, you watch if you draw some lines against that and watch a trend change. You can even draw a channel. Hey, do you know about investing? Hey, so you can draw a channel mark, and I didn't try to do it, but so 15K, yeah. No, I'm not even saying summer. No, I do not gamble. Hey, I don't gamble at all. 15K in the summer. I mean, that could be optimistic, maybe not. I'm not sure because I don't know where the final trend is yet. I don't know what the final angle is. I only know the starting angle here, which is not enough information. So all I know is there's an uptrend. If even if I stabilize this to a low uptrend, it's going to go up slowly. We may be back at that peak by the end of the year. My money goes in. This is not companies making money, ET Buck. This is a currency. This is not about buying stocks. This is a currency. Okay. Now, if somebody says follow that last trend, which is this last extreme case in here, and we'll be here in 2 weeks, well, that's pretty stupid. That's not possible. Okay, no, but because this is going to go up and down. It's going to go up, down, 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 whatever. Okay, it's going to go up and down. Even Robinhood has opened up the crypto buying. So anyway, you may like it or not like it. You may like this or not like it. I don't really care what your thoughts are. Not that I don't respect what you're saying, because I don't necessarily have to have a belief in this as much as I'm just looking at the numbers and I know it's going up. You'd have to be blind not to see it. This is a cursory look at the chart, and you see a trend, and I don't even need to plot it. I plot these charts. I know how to do technical analysis. I plot this chart. I invested in the stock market. I lost money in the stock market. You say, on what basis? Hey, see, you're doing it based on emotion, but there's no proof at all that will happen. In fact, that is completely canceled out now. That downturn trend has been broken long ago. So Hay is saying it from emotion, but not based on anything observation on it doesn't matter what you think. It's going up. No, it cannot. The trend is your friend. You have to understand how trends work. The trend is your friend. Not going to happen. The trend is your friend. Can't be blind. That's a trend. Yes, I do accept crypto for my Tor router. Yeah, the trend is the friend. So I'm telling you right now that yes, that is going up. Whatever Hay says, whatever Kelp says, whatever anyone says, it doesn't matter what you say. Anyone with a reasonable understanding of technical analysis sees it's going up. I waited. I didn't even say anything even when it went up a little bit. I should have said it right around here. I was already noticing it was going to go up over here. But I didn't have any money, so I didn't do anything. Set up a new account, Dihama. You don't have to worry about that. So tell us why you aren't buying all you can. I am buying what I can, but I don't have much money to buy. I got to make a living. Okay? I'm still buying and selling, what I have and working the dips. So Congress should convert the national debt to Bitcoin. Can you hack Bitcoin codes? I was certain that a stock of I wish I had read it when it was at 3K. So yes, I bought my first Bitcoin at 400, I think. When I first at the left of the chart was when I bought it. It was about 400. So, and I told you to buy. I told you to buy then. At 400. I did many broadcasts, 2.5 years ago. I said to people, yes, this is the time to buy. I was teaching people how to use the wallet and all that. And I said, buy, 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 because it's going to go up. And yes, yeah, it went down. But if you bought when I said, you're still holding on to a lot of money. 400. It went down as slow as, it meandered in the 4,000 range for a while, but bought at 400. I think a reason the market tanked was an introduction of so many dumb altcoins and ETH tank BS. Well, it's bad news. There was a lot of bad news that was being, and maybe it was being done on purpose. It was being done by the Kelps of the world and and everyone else who wanted to put it down. And so they tried as much as possible to put it down, and then I use see, I forget the name of my wallet now. What is it? What is the wallet I use? It begins with E. I forget what it is. Mostly I'm on Binance. I trade, so I most of it is on Binance. Or it failed. Have heard about him on CNN at 200. Yeah, I was talking about at 400. Some people didn't move until they got to 1200, and even then they would have made money. No, it's not e-wallet. The Zuck is the name of that thing. Well, I'm mostly on Binance. Binance is an exchange. So, Binance, what? So, so anyway, so my thing is that the trend is showing a lot of strength in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Electrum. There you go. Yeah, I use Electrum as my wallet. So use Binance for Coinbase. No, Coinbase is where you buy. You have to buy on Coinbase. Then, as quickly as I can, I move it out of Coinbase and move it to a wallet. Read about Peter Thiel states it. Yeah. So you buy from Coinbase and then move it out to a wallet immediately. And then if you want to trade it, move it to Binance from the wallet, not from Coinbase. I don't move it from. I don't want to. I don't. Coinbase to wallet. If you're gonna trade, you're not gonna want to put it on Trezor. So so I move it to my Electrum, and then I when I'm ready to trade, you transfer to Binance. You trade on Binance, and I just left it on Binance. It's I most of it is on Binance and a little bit on the wallet, but the trading portion I have on Binance. So I did invest in Chinese crypto, and I lost a lot of money, and I dumped it. Neo is Chinese crypto. Crap. Wish there were one or two wallets that handled every coin. No, yeah, you can't have, can't do that. It's different ones. But if you don't do that many that many things, you can keep the big amounts in individual wallets like Ether wallet and Electrum, and then leave the rest on Binance. How does a currency have a market capitalization if it's not a luxury asset? Sam is trying to understand this from some economic point of view versus what it is. It's a currency. It's crypto is based on a belief that you cannot lie. Okay. Yes, I trust Binance more than yes, I trust Binance. I've been on Binance for years. If you don't trust in Binance, watch the BNB coin, which is the Binance coin. Currency doesn't have a market cap. Oh, sure there is. It's called treasury bonds and so on. Is Binance cheaper to trade with? Yes. Binance is very cheap to trade with. Yes. Binance does not trade in cash. They only trade cryptos inside, crypto to crypto. They don't trade in cash. When crypto is widely adopted, you'll have no need to cash out. I've been paid by, crypto in small amounts. Have noticed the Binance doing, people are sinners, liars, etc. E.T. Buck, you don't like this topic either, I'm sure. You don't like ham radio, you don't like Bitcoin topic too, right? There's a limited amount of BTC that's equivalent to a market cap. No, that's what he's saying on a market cap. He's comparing BTC to dollars, and is saying there's a market capitalization to it in terms of what would happen if somebody converted to dollars. But you're missing out on the understanding of what a lot of people to this day don't understand what blockchain is, and a lot of people make some assumption of what blockchain is supposed to do. When I buy Bitcoin, I used real money to buy Bitcoin. I used real money. I used real money to buy Bitcoin. You can't buy Bitcoin with non-real money unless you're mining. So most Bitcoin is bought with real money, and I got into the ledger of Bitcoin. This is what is called the blockchain, which cannot be tricked. You cannot be tricked. You cannot trick the blockchain. It's mathematical. It's based on hashing. I use that kind of encryption all the time. Okay, you cannot trick the hashing. It's proven that you cannot be tricked. So because you cannot trick the blockchain, the proof is that I put money into it. Therefore, the other guy has trust that yes, I can take money out of that. So it's a guaranteed thing that nobody faked a transaction. There's no inside information, no little trick, no paying somebody, there's no way. There's no way that it's controlled by the government who raise interest rates. Nothing can manipulate it at all. Nothing. The government can manipulate the price. Now, if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, I did study economics. So not only did I study economics, I never used it. I studied it in college. I never used it in real life. But when I was in college, I was pretty good. I was pretty good in economics. And if you don't understand how money works, you go to your bank. Because this is one of the main reasons I love Bitcoin. You go to your bank, and you don't even know how much your transaction cost has to do with bank profits. This is something I've mentioned before, but some of you may have forgotten this, so I'll tell you again. What happens when you put $100 savings in the bank? How much money does the bank make for the year? If I put $100 in the bank, savings account, or checking account, how much money does the bank make in a year? Okay, somebody answer that. Lucifer Sam is very knowledgeable about all this because he's very economic minded. How much money does this bank make? Let me repeat that. You put $100 in the bank. The bank has to pay you some interest, so they lower that now. What, they pay you 1%? So they lose $1 because they got to pay you. So how do they make money? How much money does the bank make? So the answer is approximately the same amount you put in. So if you have a lot of cash, let's say you sold a house for $500,000, and you said, well, I'm going to keep it in the bank for a year, $500,000. You don't understand that the bank manager will just beg and just just treat you like a king for depositing $500,000 because you just gave them a $500,000 profit for the year. If your average bank balance, if your average bank balance is $1,000 a month, then you are giving them $1,000. Whatever your average balance is, that's how much money they make. Okay, that's because they're not required to keep your money there. They loan 90% of it. 90% of your money is loaned out. So if they make a 10% interest on the loan, they already recovered all of that. 10% interest, they've recovered your entire deposit. Now, if you understand this, you start to realize, anybody studied economics, macroeconomics, and so on, you understand the fractional reserve and all that. Yes, you understand all that if you studied macroeconomics in college. The point is that that is part of your transaction cost. Every transaction cost you make in the world, because of all the banking system, adds a tax of probably 10% to every transaction. So every business that buys and sells products using cash and credit cards, it's costing them 10%. The bank, in the banking system, MasterCard, Visa, they're all making that profit. When you're doing Bitcoin, none of that cost exists. So in terms of an economy that doesn't have that cost, yes, the banking industry hates Bitcoin because they will if the banking industry why do you think they want to promote XRP, sucking Ripple? Because they want to rip out Bitcoin because they want to say, well, we have our own to protect themselves. But Ripple is a sucking scam because it's by banks. Banks is a scamming thing. I understand banks. I work in a sucking bank. I studied banking in college. I wrote about. I wrote some articles on how manipulation of interest rates and all this. I understand this very well. And I'm telling you right now that the reason that Bitcoin is interesting is that if people transact with Bitcoin, the banks lose out on that percentage. They don't make that 10%. Let's say that Bitcoin makes up 10% of the purchases in the world. That 10% will no longer be area for the banks to make money. Oh, Kelp, never. You're never going to see them. So that's one of the issues about crypto that you got to understand, that the idea that if a business can buy and sell goods without worrying about fiat, then they also don't have to worry about currency manipulation and things that happen in places like Venezuela. Okay? Thank you, Lucifer Sam. Now, the other part of Bitcoin that I really, really appreciate, and not just Bitcoin, but all of the other ones like Monero and Dash and all the stealth coins, is that yes, when I say banks, I mean credit card companies as well. When I talk about that, I'm actually thinking about the tracking part of credit card transactions. You and I are subject to credit ratings, it's like we are being manipulated by our credit scores. We are forced to, it's like our social score, right? Well, it's not going to be just a credit score, it'll be a social score. And this is part of the privacy aspect. Zuck, no, Mark. No zucking, don't zucking by XRP. When that thing goes up, somebody is going to make money. It's not going to be you. I thought you didn't like crypto, hey? So what I'm saying, all altcoins are centralized, run by someone. Bitcoin is not all altcoins are centralized. No, that's not true. Some altcoins are centralized, and you don't want those. It will be you if you own XRP. Don't like Bitcoin. Oh, you like altcoins, hey? You just don't like Bitcoin? Is that what you're saying? Go with Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is doing well. Bitcoin Cash is doing well. I think that, wow, thank you, Jason. Is that J Monkey Man J? Wow, thank you. It's Monkey Man J. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Uh, you want to get my attention? Super chat in YouTube is so visible. That's like you know, if Kelp wants to speak, he needs to give us some super chat. Then I'll see him there. He sent cash, not Bitcoin. No, he actually sent super chat coin. No, he actually used super chat coin, which he bought from Google. So that's super chat coin. That's super chat coin. Yes, baby. So yeah, that's super chat coin. So yes, if you want me to make sure I don't miss your comment, yes, I will not miss comments on super chat. I've made all of $20 this month. I'm getting rich from those super chats. I got in ads. I made $20. Here are my top five: ETH, LTC, XRP, Zuck XRP, Zuck Dodge, Zuck Tron. I was a big one on Tron. Lost so much money on Tron, Neo, all these Chinese ones. So what do I like? Well, I still like ETH, even though ETH is not, you know, it's, if you buy now, I mean, it'll be better off. But I tend to like just the top 10. I don't go beyond the top 10 because there's no can be manipulated easily. So I stay within the top 10. I used to get a lot of LTC and oh gosh, long time ago. Sold my Neo. I gave up on Neo. Gave up on Neo. Gave up on Tron and Neo, which are all these Chinese ones. Like, fuck this. Lost so much money on that. Good thing I didn't put. Good thing I didn't put all my money in it. So mostly I was on Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, ETH, and LTC. Those are probably, and BNB. I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Wonderful Poo's Bitcoin, so I decided to buy some more. What is the percentage drop on that chart? The chart from the high, we're at 8,000 now. The peak of Bitcoin. So to the left of the chart is probably around 1,000 or so. To the left of the chart, the very leftmost point. The top of the chart is about 20,000, and then right now we are at 8,000. So that is reversed already. So that's going up. Whether you like it or not, it's going up. This is you also? You have multiple YouTube accounts? Tamsin, how are you doing, my friend? I'm glad you go on YouTube instead of Periscope. I'm glad you go on YouTube instead of Periscope. How are you? Have you been? Whoa, volatile. It's not really been volatile anymore. The volatility has gone down. It hasn't really. If you look at that chart compared to the first year there, like the first year over here, it's actually not volatile. So, not as much. Not as much. So that's actually good. That's one of the best thing for BTC. It's used to buy billboards for the trade war with China gets resolved. Will Bitcoin go down? No, this is a long-term trend. This trend occurred before the trade wars. The trend started here. Okay. The trends became noticeable right around here. That's months ago already. That's way before the trade wars. So, I'm not, the economist in me, I hate tariffs. I don't believe in tariffs. If China wants to subsidize their industries and make me buy my products, if they want to sell me these radios for $25 and it's supported by government money, Chinese government money, I'm okay with that. I buy through Coinbase, move to no Coinbase wallet. No, I buy through Coinbase, move to Electrum. No, my own wallet. I on your computer. And then from there, then you can move it to Binance if you want. Tariffs made our nation what it is. Free trade made no nation of importance. Of course, that's for kelp. I do not believe in tariffs. I think tariffs suck. I'm a libertarian. I don't like tariffs. If China wants to subsidize the iron and steel and make it cheaper, well, that's their problem. You're paying cheaper. Doesn't hurt you. So is Ethereum better deal? Ethereum is Ethereum is a lot of room to grow still. Yes, at the moment. Would I buy Bitcoin here? It might still dip. You may want to be ready to buy it near 7,000. Do I support open borders? No, I do not support open borders. You have an ICOM, IC, MT. I have many Marines, Jason. I have. What do I have in Marine? I think they're mostly ICOMs. Whatever they sell at West Marine, I think they're all ICOMs. Can't remember. I haven't looked at them in so long. When you put it on the boat, you don't look at it again. So yes, most of mine are ICOMs. China steel is crap. Want it? Sure. What the heck? I got 2 of them now. My uncle died. This was from his boat. CNC sloop. Oh, okay. Dip to 3K to retest lows. No. No, the trend has changed already. No, that is way against the flow. You're too late with that concept. Okay? There is nothing in the chart that would justify going to a low of 3K. Worst case, 6K. How much battery can we get out of a human battery, and it can be used to mine Bitcoin? In the Netherlands, they have a project where you can take a nap and they use your body heat to mine Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, use your body heat to mine Bitcoin. Short it, Dihama. Short it. No, not necessarily saying, I always like buying dips. I don't like to buy it at a high like that. So even if it went up here, I'd buy it at a dip. I used to have XLM. Lost money on that too. So I wouldn't necessarily buy here. I'd wait and wait for it to go down. It may go up and down and go back to where it is, but it's safer that way. Always buy after it goes down. Buy when it dips. Okay? Always buy in a dip. And don't be, wait for a bigger dip. Don't buy when it goes down by 5%. Come on. In Bitcoin, dips are in 1,000s. Okay? So if it drops 1,000, that's a good buy point. Or buy low and never sell. Sure. I'm also monkey man and money man. You never pick the dip. You can never pick the dip. No, but you can buy in small amounts. And you sell at tops a little bit, 10%. If you just do this, if you think it's a top, sell 10%. If you think it's a bottom, buy 10%. You don't have to make big moves. It's too risky with some people. Well, you're greedy. I'm going to go buy, 100%. Well, Bitcoin is up because of trade deal uncertainty. I don't think so. This went up before that. This trend has been happening for a while. Part of your life. Am I in your synagogue too? Why do you even go to synagogue? Why do you even go to temple, Jay? You're like, do you talk to your rabbi about your activities? So, so if you're like new at this, if you like new at this and want to experiment, don't put that much money in. Don't put too little money in, otherwise it's a waste of time too. But the way you would do it is, since you can never guess what's going to do, is when it dips, buy some. When it goes up and you think it kind of like is high enough, sell some. Don't be greedy. Doesn't matter if it goes higher or lower. Just keep doing this. What are my thoughts on industrial IoT? I'm not a big fan of IoT. Deformed. Are you in a deformed? I will sell anyone here one Bitcoin for only 88.75 tonight. Do you even have any Bitcoin left? I wait for Apple Coin. Wait for Zuckbook Coin. It's coming out already. Are religious leaders actually spies for Zuckbook? I sometimes wonder, because religious leaders are very intent on Zuckbook for some reason. So if I'm gonna teach you the way to do this right, don't try to be some expert, try to predict and whatever. Don't be the guy that like Dihama or whoever is gonna say short it and do. You're not an expert. You're not an expert. Okay, if you're not an expert, it's very simple, really. Move in 10% moves. When it goes up and you think it's high enough, sell some. Don't be greedy. I just sold some. Okay? For example, right here, I sold some yesterday, and it stayed there for the moment. If it goes down, I'll buy some. If it doesn't go down, that's okay. I still have the money. If it goes up here, trust me, it will go back down there. If it goes back down there, I will buy some again. It doesn't matter that I bought a little higher than what I bought, because my money was safe. Doesn't matter. By doing this, you don't have to worry about guessing so much, because it lessens the guessing. What you want to worry about is follow the zucking trend. This is my thing. The trend is your friend, but when it comes to the Zuck guy here, follow the Zucking trend. The trend is up. The trend is up. This is, I can't say that for a long time. The trend has been down for so long that I couldn't say that for a long time. But now I can tell you, it broke all the averages now. All of the moving averages have gone up. Everything is up. You guys still trading monopoly currency? It doesn't matter. Mecca's queen. Hello, my friend. I guess I've been too crazy with it, and I usually flip my whole stack. Mad cow, no. It's you don't try to guess it. I can't guess that. I can't guess it. By the way, look at this chart up right below where my finger. Look at the low volume here. So all of that downtrend over here, they lost interest. This is the period, this whole year here, people lost interest in Bitcoin. And then when the price went down, then suddenly big monies are buying here. This means when somebody sells a lot, somebody's buying it too. Just understand that. When somebody sells, somebody's buying. So who bought that? Obviously smart money. You still do not have Bitcoin. Why is that a shock? A lot of people don't have Bitcoin. So yeah, it's don't need to go crazy. So when you say when Bitcoin hits, it will explode. When you say when Bitcoin hits 8,500, it will explode. No, it'll go to 10,000. It's the next stop. It will go to 10. It's going up now. I still wouldn't want to buy at this level, because I like to see it work its way up and down first. Okay, so I don't like to buy at a high. So, it might go down a little bit here. Might go down to 7. I don't know. Okay, it isn't going to go up from where it is directly. It's not going to work like that. Now, if it meanders in that level for a while, then it could go up. But if you want to happen something to happen quickly, it's not going to right here because there's resistance there. So it has to go down a little bit again. So I'm ready to buy when it goes down, and then it'll go up. It will go up. Okay? So it has to go down to go up. I don't need to do the the Elliott curve and all that. Just simple. I follow. I do all that, and everybody comes and justifies the trend by some Elliott wave, and it's like crazy. It already did retest the lows. I mean, how many times did it stayed in the low for months, and you say we need to retest the low. Stop it. We'll go back down to 3,800 again. I don't think so. Not at the current trend here. It's like saying it got to retest the low. Did it retest the low back at 1,000? Did it retest that? Yeah, it's last week's low was what, 7,000? It's probably gonna go there. Yeah. Classic bull trap. Monkey man is shorting. Short it. You love to chat, you can't chat. I want to drink the Kool-Aid. So anyway, I'm just telling you the trend has changed. So if you're gonna believe that's gonna go someplace else, this is not some unstable kind of marking there. That is a definite trend change. If you drew a line there, it's left it long ago. Gut instinct seems to be the best way to interpret. Okay, I'm going to tell you my way, Mad Cow. My way is very simple. Is there a higher high or is there a higher low? Simple, because that's the fight between the bears and the bulls. Higher high, higher low. Okay. Well, I can tell what's happening right now. Right now we have a higher low, but we do not have a higher high. Therefore, it's struggling. Okay, so I don't know how the struggle is going to play out until it makes either a higher high or a lower low. Then we'll see what happens. Okay, that reflects the struggle between buyers and sellers. So right now, it's struggling. This is the first time it's struggled. So right around where this is right now, it's struggling now. So this has room to drop probably to the 7,000 mark. Okay, so that's that's just a rough guess. I have no idea. But a long-term trend will show us. It depends on what happens now. It hit 38. Don't forget about what it hit before. Forget about what it hit before because it doesn't matter. You're buying and selling things without a trend. Like, look, I'll give you an example. Watch the chart over here. What if you bought right around this point? What's the trend? If you bought around this point, it's only in hindsight that you see what the trend is. Okay, in hindsight, if you bought here, you think it's going to go up. Well, obviously the trend. Look at the higher high, look at the lower highs and lower lows. So it was downtrending this whole time. Okay, lower highs, lower lows. Okay, kept downtrending. Then it reversed. No more lower lows. Everything became a higher high from here on. So the last, see that? Since the last many months here, since the beginning of the year, it has trended up. So it's reversed. This, only in hindsight can we tell this, and I'm telling you, in hindsight, it's going up. Some of you may think it's late, but it's kind of steep right now. So obviously, it's going up. It's going up a lot. The whale who anonymously came in with his 1 million to manipulate the market was engineered. Yeah, unfortunately, there could be whales, but you know, at the moment, there's volume with this. So, yeah, the way to do it is to cause the retail investor to panic, and that what causes it to go up. So the trend is down for them. Watch what if there is a finite amount of BTC, that means the price will go upright. In theory, unless the demand goes down. If nobody starts using BTC, then doesn't matter that it's a finite amount. But yes, in theory, if there's a finite amount of BTC, that it should go up. And the problem is hyper uh, deflation. It may cause deflation, and that's no one really knows what's going to happen then. We need a Trump tweet for it to go up. So anyway, uh, so again, look at the points. You know, just understand the points I'm trying to make here. There are three. One, the trend is your friend. I'm looking at that, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the trend has changed. There's no doubt about it. If some of you will say it's going to go back to 3,000, I'm going to say you're out of your mind, because that's clearly not what the trend is showing. Okay? Now, if something happens in the news that breaks it down, that'll be a different issue. But in the absence of anything major happening, like somebody finds a major bug in Bitcoin and nobody can use it anymore, unless that happens, the trend is telling us that it will head up, because I can see it. I mean, it's clear that's what the direction of the crowd is. The mob wants it to move up. Okay? So that is not a little blip. That is not a little blip. Okay? I compressed that. That's three. You're looking at 3 years in that chart. In case some of you just came in and didn't know, you're looking at 3 years right now. 3 years. Dead cat bounce. 3 years of it. A year's worth of a dead cat bounce. I do not know, Lucifer Sam. I ask if you're going to ask Binance, you're going to say yes. It hasn't been going up. Even if it stayed where it is, that would be very good. You need more people using it, less people use it, but pay more. That's a terrible situation. Big dead cat then. Hey, you use these terms, but they don't really pertain to anything with technical analysis. Okay, I'm because that's the design of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is designed to not be mined past a certain number. So I think it's getting close to that. Every year gets mined. You can mine less of it. By 2021, I think there will only be a small amount left to mine. So a year and a half away from now. So people are realizing that too. And even if it's just stable, it's going to go up just because of that. There's more millionaires than the maximum amount of Bitcoins. Even Brand Stark can see the uptrend. Shouldn't value traded actually usability? If it doesn't, it's in pure speculation. Lucifer, I don't know about you, but I use Bitcoin. I buy and sell with Bitcoin. I love it. I told you about three things. Again, let me repeat again. My points. Point number one, the trend is your friend. Trend changed. It's going up. No argument. It's going up. How much is going up, I can't tell you, but it's going up. A. Two, Bitcoin is a transaction that is cheaper than any transaction you can do currently, exchanging money in any kind of significant amounts versus the tax that the banks put on your transactions. Not the government tax, the bank tax. The bank makes 10% off your money. Okay? Maybe 12%. 10 to 12% off your money. So your transaction cost, any business, actually 12% of their cost is with finance costs just to make a sale, both with MasterCard, Visa, and even keeping a bank account. So that is a drain on the economy that's just going to the pockets of the people in the banking industry. 3, Bitcoin is more private. For that reason, I like buying and selling with Bitcoin. Not everything I buy and sell needs to be public. For example, certain transactions such as things that relate to privacy, I may not want them to buy. If I'm going to buy a Tor router, it may be good to buy it in Bitcoin. Okay? Do I need to publicize that and put it on my credit card? If you there's many things that you can buy that it's better to buy in Bitcoin. How about this? I believe you can't buy. I believe MasterCard, Visa doesn't allow sex toy companies to sell sex toys, right? I don't know anything about sex toys, but I read that somewhere that they can't get MasterCard, Visa. They can't get a merchant account. Is that true? I read that somewhere. Well, they can accept Bitcoin. Okay? There are many things, there are many transactions that are manipulated. For example, let's say you're a political broadcaster, and you get shut down by MasterCard, Visa. Alex Jones. So MasterCard, Visa shut down Alex Jones, and he can't take donations. Well, he can take Bitcoin. He can take Bitcoin. Why don't you do a scope about that, Hey? Because my knowledge is very weak on that. But I did read that they couldn't get Master, because I was thinking to myself, this is an example of a Bitcoin transaction. But think about it. If you are a Alex Jones type, and I don't mean Alex Jones himself, but somebody like that, want to sustain himself on social media, but doesn't have a way of getting finance because he doesn't have Patreon, doesn't have MasterCard, Visa, and all this, and he doesn't have a way of making money, Bitcoin. And that evens out communications. It evens out censorship. Because if somebody says, I'm going to censor you, and you just say, Zuck you, I'll take Bitcoin. And that doesn't mean Bitcoin directly. A person can buy Bitcoin directly with MasterCard, Visa, and then pay in Bitcoin. You can transform it. There's many websites that do that. In fact, I use that. You can pay in a MasterCard, Visa, and it will end up as Bitcoin. So then this equalizes the world. It shuts down censorship. If the country was in crisis, could the government vote to target Bitcoin users with new taxes? I think every negative government thing was already, all that downturn in Bitcoin, that whole year of downturn was all from government commentary. And then it died down. All of that downturn was from governments. Every government from Korea to the U.S., Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, all these downturns in here from various governments speaking out. I think we've heard enough of that. It's back with nuclear weapons. I thought you were going to say it was back with gold. Lucifer Sam, I actually thought you were going to say it was back with gold. Do you buy Bitcoin with a credit card? I think they banned buying Bitcoin with a credit card by Coinbase. But I think you can elsewhere. Coinbase blocked that because, but you withdraw directly from your bank account. Coinbase will withdraw directly from your bank account and then use it to buy Bitcoin. Dollar is legal tender. Dollar is a promise to pay by government. It's not actually backed by anything. The dollar isn't backed by anything except for nuclear weapons, yes. So when you say it's legal tender, you have to understand what you're saying. If Tender is whatever somebody is willing to accept. Apparently, people are suddenly now more willing to accept Bitcoin, and that's why it's trending upwards. Okay, the more people are willing to trade in, I've always been willing to get paid in Bitcoin. The more people are willing to get paid in Bitcoin, then the more, this will be like legal tender. Yes, an example of a country where they don't really care about legal tender is Venezuela. The dollar is backed by faith. Yes. What is really backing the dollar? China. Treasury bonds purchased by China. So China holds the majority of the treasury bonds because they don't know what to do with their money. Digital currency has such a ring of security. Gold actually exists. Kelp, don't worry about it. Buy your gold. Nobody's stopping you from buying your gold. Buy your gold. But Bitcoin has lately been performing better than gold. So buy your gold. Nobody can stop you. Buy VPN on BTC. Like if the SHTF happens, will Bitcoin matter? No. Will your dollar bills matter? No. What's the legal tender when the SHTF happens? Come on, guys. You know the answer here. What is the legal tender in an SHTF situation? What is the legal tender in an SHTF situation? Come on, people. It's not gold. It's not gold. I can't eat gold. Silver. Ammo. Come on. Ammo. You can get food with ammo. Oh, come on. SHTF. Who cares about real estate? There's no real estate when there's SHTF. Come on. Everybody will have left their homes. Yes, but you can get food with ammo. Legal tender. Food is not legal tender because you have to eat it. But what do you use to exchange? You can actually exchange ammo. So if you have a lot of ammo, you can buy food until all the game is dead. Yeah, but you can defend yourself and then protect your food because you can't even do that if you don't have ammo. So yeah, ammo. See, ammo is legal. I'm just, in a way, I'm being facetious here. We can have in Australia, it's not ammo. Bows and arrows, maybe. Okay. In the thing is the reason I'm slightly facetious here. You got lots of ammo. You got ammo. I'm being slightly facetious here, but my point is, in a SHTF situation, neither dollar bills, your ATM machine, your Apple Pay, there's no internet. None of that matters. Bitcoin doesn't matter either. So all that will be gone. So what do you have left? So if you're saying, well, I'm going to invest all my money in Bitcoin, well, you're zucked. I'm going to invest all my money in gold. Well, who cares about gold? What am I going to buy with that? So what about gold is a little bit better than Bitcoin then in that kind of situation. So have a mix. Lots of country ammo, no food. So solar powered ham repeaters are tender. We can't get ammo. Yeah. Real ham. Yeah. You can eat this ham. This is edible. You can eat that. So anyway, as always, my topics are boring for some people, but again, not trying to make a judgment. You can hate it or love it. I'm not. I don't have to justify where it's going. I'm just telling you where it's going. And I don't have a big investment in Bitcoin. So if you're telling me that I'm all in on Bitcoin. No, I'm, mostly in stocks. Okay, so yeah, stocks. So some of you are in real estate. Some, I'm mostly in stocks. So do I do I recommend any stocks? No, because that's managed by somebody else. I don't have to managed by experts. Looks like mostly flat except for that big spike. Uh, hey, that is a 3-year chart. I don't know. That is a 3-year chart. Well, you say that's mostly flat. If I extend anything over a period of 50 years, it'll look flat too. Okay? That is a 3-year chart that you're looking at. 3 zucking years. Okay? You see that uptrend there? The whole chart is 3 years, hey? You see how weird your comment is? It's a dead man's bounce. That is 3 years. That little upturn in there, it didn't just happen in a day. That's weeks. That uptrend there has been going on for many, many weeks. That is not a daily chart. That's a 3-year chart. Okay? You like growth, especially when you put water in it, it grows. You can see a little bit over 2 years right now. Yes. 3 zucking years. Yes. Sell high. Yes, you should have sold at the... I did not, but I should have sold at 20,000. Wasn't smart enough then. Anyway. So hopefully, you just get my point of view here, whether you like it or not. Debate's always cool. Debate is always cool. Now, I have an idea for a experiment. 535 bear. We are on the 3 up. The Elliott wave. Tehila, we're in the Elliott wave thing. What's your price sell target? I already sold some at 8,000. Real estate always. I know we can. Unfortunately, you need big money for that. I don't have that. See, you already have the real estate, so big money makes more money. I don't have that. My money was stolen. Pay attention to Brexit. Is that going to do something? Anyway, I have I'm going to try a project. And the project is to send email on analog. Anybody interested in that? And anybody interested in this project? I'm thinking about it. I got to get the parts, but I'm thinking about doing email. Then I'll make a video on it. Because I'm gonna buy it at 7. Not really do a Airbnb and pay. I don't have extra property to do Airbnb. Why? Social Security, Bitcoin really worth. Social Security is worth almost nothing. Bitcoin is really worth nothing. Okay. It doesn't matter what's worth nothing to you. It's worth something to somebody. Okay. Anyway, I guess nobody's paying attention to what I'm talking about. I'm thinking about a project to show you, and that is to use a ham radio like this. This is a ham radio, and use it to transmit email without the internet. So I'm wondering what the email will show. What questions I have are like, what's the email header? Obviously there's not going to be an IP address and all that. Let's say you're hiding from the cartel. You need 200K to start a good BNB in your area. how do you do that, Wifu Ken? 200K with a loan, you mean? What what would 200K do? What can you buy with 200K? Could you throw a bet and bingo a BNB? You mean you get a loan? What do you get with a you ain't starting a BNB in the Bay Area with 200K? Well, you ain't starting a BNB in my neighborhood at 200K. I don't know where I would start BNB in the Valley, condo in the Valley at 200K. Is that what I'm gonna do? Or tell one think to look on the radio. Unless your BNB is a camper parked at Walmart. Lucifer Sam, same here. You know, I'm, you know, yeah, I can't be unaffordable to do a BNB here. I don't have that kind of cash. Unless I move out and I do a BNB in my house. I'll move out in smaller quarters and then do BNB in my house. 1K to put down, 100K to furnish. Okay, so you got to get a loan. Wow. I don't know if I'm good at the BNB business. Because you got to get another loan. Okay. Anyway, so nobody was interested in this project. Nobody said anything. So let me repeat the project and tell me if it's worth doing. Otherwise, I won't do it. Okay. The project is to show you that I can do email without an internet connection or a cell phone. I'm just gonna do analog radio and use this as the way to transmit it. I can send it to myself. It doesn't matter. Awesome, Wifu Can. He doesn't want the project. Okay, nobody wants a project because you want to go through the cell phone and make sure you're tracked. Analog radio communicating is what? Isn't that how the old beepers work with what? Anything, computer, cell phone, whatever. Whatever you use to communicate, you will email without using the internet. If it's boring, I won't do it. I'm just telling you what it's going to do. Basically, average days for 25 days. I wonder what the header file would look like through radio. I'm wondering too. And I may have to forward it because I don't think you can view the header from what they give you as software. So you may have to forward it, and then I have to look at the forwarded message and see what the header is. So I am curious myself. So but anyway, one of the things that is interesting. By the way, this technique is used by boaters who go. Let's say you're in the middle of the ocean and you need to transmit an email from the middle of the ocean. This is how they do it. But I'm going to demonstrate it with something smaller, because in the middle of the ocean you need a full ham radio. Will the headers reveal your call sign? Yes, it will. Yeah. Yes, the headers will reveal your call sign. Yes. But it won't reveal where you are now. It's used in industrial situations also. So, more scope. Be interesting to see all the one. Anyway, my point is, if you my point is, well, I'd like to try it in either case, but I'm just wondering if it's worth doing a video on. I don't have to do a video. I can just do it for myself, because it would certainly be interesting to say, I'm going to go into email only mode. Email, as you know, is already like a postcard. There's nothing private about email. So you could trace back just to a post office. Well, it's going to trace to a repeater, I guess. What it would trace to a repeater, so it would trace you to within, it could be within 200 miles, because you could be a 100-mile radius of a repeater. So that could mean you could be within 200 miles of that repeater. That's one method. There may be another method that's even more vague, but you're not using the internet on that first leg. So it'll go to the internet eventually, but from a distant place. And so the email will, email is, for those of you who don't understand this, email is pretty much tells you the pathway how you got there, and even tells you where you live. Please, so that sounds way better than yeah, 100 miles radius. Simon, you're always interested, but you were interested in SDR. Nobody else was. So some of the stuff I talk about, may be too weird for most of you, but it's pretty simple project. I just need to buy a device, and it's more money to spend. But I have to buy a device. It's gonna probably cost. I'm still interested in you teaching me jazz. Really, that too? Whew. Nobody will watch that even more. So anyway, what you just want an excuse to buy something else. I would like to buy a HF radio, but then the cost of an HF radio is $2,000 for a starter. I think it's cool as heck. Email over a radio. Right. Anyway, the way this works, and I would watch jazz flute. The way this works is the radio will have a connector here, and then it goes into a modem. The modem has Bluetooth, and then you use email over Bluetooth. You basically email over Bluetooth, and then from your computer. So your computer can send an email. Email to the Bluetooth will be go into this, and this will send a message by radio. Yes, it will convert it to serial. That's correct. So the modem converts it to a 1200 baud modem or 9600 baud modem, or I think the frequency I'm going to be using is 9600 baud. Us rare cats are into rare things. Don't listen to us. The wider population want to talk. Yes. So anyway, I don't know. Some of you may not like gadgets, but I thought here's a privacy solution that's kind of interesting, because the solution involves being able to communicate without ever revealing your location. And especially this also works when you're traveling. So you can basically keep emailing people. Since I won't let me buy you, I have to enjoy yours. Some of us do all those things. Anyway, I will research that. I actually want, for my own self, I want to get an HF radio, and HF radio is so darn fucking expensive, but it's a very nice gadget, and I like gadgets. Is it very intriguing? Well, that was Ask on Brax. The reason I'm mentioning this is somebody asked me to do this on Brax, and I'm just wondering if anyone else is interested in learning how this might be done. I mean, you don't have to do it. I just learning if it's interesting to you, you will watch the video. If it's not interesting to you, you will not watch the video. Ham radio in the lower frequencies, hey, that's the more serious kind of ham radio that can go, thousands of miles. The ham radio that goes thousands of miles is called HF radio. So this radio is UHF, VHF, short distance. This only goes, to the repeater, which is only 30 miles, 40 miles away. Always up for show and tell. So yeah, the problem with me doing some of these videos, they're kind of expensive to show, and if it's if it's not interesting, then I'll spend my money on something else because it costs me money to make the video. Okay, always. Anyway, only a handful of people were interested. So okay. Uh, I noticed that the women are never interested. Is that being sexist? Women don't like gadgets. Do it live. It's hard to do it live though. Uh, it's hard to do it live because then also my call sign. So I got to worry about my call sign. I'm ready to learn. So okay. So did you change names? WHBQ. We'll do it live. I'll wake up at 3 a.m. for it. You don't have to do it live. I can just make a video first. I always have to make something that complicated. I got to do a video first. Then I can talk about it in a live show. But I can do a video first. But it will take me a while. I mean, I got to buy the part. It take several days to even get it. And then I got to try it out. So this could be next week. Protect your call sign. Still George. Oh, that is George? Okay, I just looked at... Oh, sorry. I looked at your picture and you look like somebody else. Look at a video called Stop the Hammering. What the fuck does that mean? Anyway, I will... I'm researching other things to do with this, and one of the projects that I wanted to do, and it kind of got me frustrated because of the range, is I wanted to do a mesh network. It's called HamNet. I've talked about this several times. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain it again. A HamNet is basically a private internet that runs on the ham radio frequencies. And you have to be a licensed ham to do this. And basically it's Wi-Fi over a distance of 15 miles, like 15-mile Wi-Fi. So, and there's a mesh network of stations nearby that are within the range of 15 miles, and then they turn into a mesh network, and that's what I want to do, that project of making a mesh network, and then I was going to demonstrate that as well. And what that does is, in case of a grid failure, when the grid goes down, that thing will still run. You can still have your cell phones can connect on the local internet, so you can actually get emergency communications. Let's do FidoNet BBS over phones when the screw that, Lucifer. That's nonsense. Go get some serious stuff. Arden Mesh. It's called Arden Mesh. 5 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz speed. You can download it, probably, 50 megabits per second on a wide area network. I'm a sysop. Connect at 2400 baud. It'll be lit. Is that what you did back in the 80s? You ran your own BBS? Did you run your own BBS? So that's another project that is kind of expensive, and I'd like to try it, and it's I maybe be able to do it cheaply at the beginning. So I'm maybe do a trial run and see how far I can get with it. But again, I'm experimenting with these things that show you that you can do things that are not on the internet. You can communicate with people without an internet. You ran a BBS in the late 80s and 90s. I was a little kid. You sure you were a little kid then? Are you sure you were a little kid then? Or you're just, what the zuck? 300 BPS was my jam, VIC 20. 300 baud, you mean? Google adding Face ID to Google Glasses. He's 30. I was like 8. Yeah. So, yeah, you sound like. I thought you were older than that, Lucifer Sam. You're talking about like stocks and things like you were like much older. So, yep. Yeah, I'm older than that. I'm way older than that. See, what was I doing in 1980? I'm sure I was partying in 1980 somewhere. So, or working, whatever. I just have a lot of time in my hands. You must be super rich. You don't happen to work for Facebook, do you? Raving? You don't happen to work for Facebook, do you? Do you work for Facebook, Lucifer? You already cashed out? Ever had a Commodore 64? Hell no. But I had an original 8088 IBM PC. I had an original 8088 IBM PC. I do not work for Facebook. You must work for Google then. Or some of the venture capitalists that invest in them. We all work for Facebook. What is the best way to send a PM? Email or website? To whom? WHBQ? To whom? If you want to talk to me, for example, or if you want somebody to talk to you, the safest way to communicate is on brax.me. There's no email. There's no whatever. It's all encrypted. Brax.me is an encrypted platform. All communications on Brax.me are encrypted. So that's a safe place. You can set yourself up. So some of you already have websites on Brax.me where you can have. Mine is this. Mine is rob.brax.me. That's my website. If you go to rob.brax.me and you sign in, it will automatically start a chat with me. So that's my you can make one of those too on Brax. That's one of the services we offer in Brax, is to give you a way to for people to communicate with you directly without needing an email. For example, hey T-Cats, Great Gold has one too, I believe. I forget what his domain is, but you set up your own domain and then .brax.me and then say, here, that's my email. Contact me there. Then they go to the site and they can do it from any platform, a browser or an app, and talk to you. They'll be able to talk to you without using an email. Email is very, very unsafe. That's why I was going to teach you. Yeah, you do not need email on Brax.me. You can also back up your password with Google Authenticator or Authy or one of those one-time password programs. So you can basically make sure you keep your account on Brax.me by having a Google Authenticator account or Authy, doesn't matter what it is, and no emails required. You do not have to give email on Brax. You don't need to. You were being stupid in 1980. So you don't need to identify yourself if you don't want to be. So I highly recommend that. There's no need for you to give email anywhere, and Brax.me doesn't require it at all. But you may lose your account if you don't have a way to recover it. So by using Authy, then you can recover your account. So this is one of the ways I allow privacy. Just to compare, the Zucked Up app called WhatsApp. There's this app that's called WhatsApp, and people think, wow, Facebook, Zuck says WhatsApp is really safe because it's encrypted. The first thing that you do when you go to WhatsApp is put in your phone number, your real phone number. The first thing that you do on Telegram is to put in your real phone number. The first thing you do with Signal is put in your real phone number. Zuck. I mean, what kind of platforms are these? If I have to put a real phone number and an email, then it's zucked up. So these are all zucked up platforms. I don't believe in them. So, you know, yes. So zuck that. So BraxMe is, bring your friends over and talk in BraxMe, where it's a lot safer. You're not required to do any of that. You can create private communities. There's no censorship, and it's free. And I support it with my own money. The View is back. It's I could blame myself for wrecking the entire Bay Area. Probably did. So anyway, so a bunch of move in and lines and traffic got terrible. Funded by BTC profits. Well, my part of LA is now turned into a tech area, and everyone's here. Google, YouTube, Yahoo, Facebook, Snapchat. I mean, they're all here. So they're all crowded in one little area. So there's a lot of traffic here. I moved to Southern California now. You're now in Southern California? Okay. So you know where the area I'm talking about then. So Zuck's robots went rogue. They could have become our overlords if they weren't shut down. Yep. I live in Newport Beach. Okay. So I live in Silicon Beach. That's where I live. Silicon Beach. So you're talking about next door. Yep, I can probably reach you by radio. What's your call sign? Have you heard a podcast to live and die in LA? There's a podcast called Live and Die in LA, not the movie. There's a podcast. Really? Dive into Brax. The water is fine. Yes. So people have, I haven't really talked about Brax in a while, and because I'm trying to promote YouTube first. But I intend to, slowly try to do it slowly and introduce people to the security and peacefulness and the freedom to talk that we can find on Brax that you just can't do anywhere else anymore. I mean, everywhere you go, you got to reveal something about yourself, and on Brax it's not like that. So you reveal what you want. Some people reveal a lot, some people don't. But whatever you do, it's not going to show up in some search engine. Use everything you're talking about to track someone. Use everything you're talking about to track someone. What does that mean? Inhaler X1? What does that mean? So anyway, I have to summarize, and I will. We will. This will be the last live stream till Friday. We'll be back in live streaming on Friday, and then I will be making videos in the next few days here. Don't delay. Sign up for your free account on BraxMe. Get familiar with it. Ask questions there. Yes, contact Great Gold over there, and he'll guide you. So anyway, I don't have any planned broadcasts until Friday. I have a gig on Saturday, so I guess I'm probably not going to broadcast on Saturday because I have a gig. Yeah, so I may have to just I'll have to make extra videos then, because I have a gig, so then I'll be back Sunday and Monday. Okay, so Friday I'll be here, Saturday not, and then I also got to take my my general ham test on Saturday to get my general license, because I have a technician license. The internet is not good enough for that. I could record it and then replay it later. but it will have to be at a later date. So I couldn't I could record it and let's say broadcast it on Tuesday on Periscope, but I can't do it live then because the internet is so bad. So I can make a better sound. I can record it, and I will record it. So it will definitely be recorded. Wear a GoPro for the gig. Lucifer Sam, unfortunately, GoPro does not work in the dark. Nobody ever told you that, but GoPro does not work in the dark. It's made for outdoors. It's so pointless to run. I have a GoPro. Anybody want to buy my old GoPro? I mean, it's just what a waste of money. I spent a couple hundred something on it and couldn't use it. Need to set up Hamnet before then so you can broadcast over that. Yeah, but it's indoors. So what do I do? Will there be normal broadcast Saturday night? I just said no. Well, you can do wearable headlamp with it, high candle power. Okay, I just said no, I am not broadcasting on Saturday because I have a gig at Saturday night. The gig is at the same time as my broadcast. So I can't broadcast on Saturday night. So I have to do something else. Maybe make videos. Okay. So I will likely broadcast the gig on Periscope the following week, a few days later. So I'll process it and you be on July 4th. What day is July 4th? Normally not. I'm normally not broadcasting July 4th, but if I remember, it's the middle of the week, right? Like it's a Wednesday or Thursday, right? Thursday. No, I don't normally broadcast on Thursday anyway. So, no. I don't think so. Yeah. So, no. I always make a video in the middle of the week. I make one or two videos in the middle of the week. Canada has a similar thing. No, they have. Do they have a 4th of July? Actually, I don't know. They have a. It's not the 4th of July, but and their Thanksgiving is on a different date. What's the best tech movie ever made? War Games. War Games. Matrix doesn't count. War Games. You're probably too young then. You were just born. No Thursday broadcast. Maybe YouTube video. No. Yeah. No. What are we talking about? Thursday is July 4th was the Thursday broadcast. But Rob, BTC will moon by the weekend, and you won't need to stream anymore. I don't have that much money. Escape from New York. That's a tech show. Canada doesn't have not on July 4th, but do they have some sort of Independence Day? Yes, Lucifer Sam. You old enough to know that. Would you like? Yes. So yes, that's my actually my. I don't know why, but I kind of like that movie. It's they're using 1200 baud modems. They got the 1200 baud. They're already sophisticated. They got the 1200 baud movie. Lenny PR. What do we talk on DMR or D-Link? Datastar? D-Star? Where do we talk on? Do you do? Hey, Lenny PR. I was gonna do a WinLink over this. I was gonna do a video WinLink over VHF. Email over VHF. They've been using an automation for decades. So I was thinking about doing that. Lenny PR, is that a good idea, or you don't want to see that? You don't want to see that? So for those of you who do not fear the wiles of Zuck and what he's doing to track you, then you don't have to worry about my next message. But for those of you who are concerned, you must have a VPN. If you don't have a VPN, you're crazy. You don't have to do it, Great Gold. You just need to appreciate that you can do it. Ham rate is boring. The sun cycle is very low to do DXing. You don't want to talk to people in Puerto Rico. Yes, but you can do email on WinLink on VHF, which it does not need to worry about some spots. Lenny PR. We are in the low of the 11-year solar cycle. You need a VPN for your analog radio if you're hanging out with Brax. Yeah, one of my projects was to build a dark web interface to Brax. I was gonna do that, and then I completely forgot about it because I don't like doing things that cost money and then nobody wants to do it. So, I like to at least make a video out of it, at least so people will watch if it's interesting to people, right? So if it's interesting to you, then people watch it. My most popular video is flip phones, burner phones, antivirus, YubiKey. I mean, just those 4 alone is probably giving me all the new subscribers. Just those 4 videos. So obviously people like gadgets. So I'm getting subscribers from YouTube from gadgets. That's why I keep making more gadgets. Because that's where I'm getting the followers on YouTube. So I'm doing what works. So sorry, it's not that I'm ignoring people on Periscope, but I'm just finding that, whatever people want. Google has a YubiKey computer. Let's invent something useless. Yeah, somebody already invented the pet rock. Okay, so anyway, good to see you guys, and I will good to see you guys, and I will see you on Friday. Again, no scope on Saturday, and then back on the air on Sunday and Monday, and then I'll put videos between when I'm missing. Okay? Play one note sum. No, you cannot do that on YouTube, Lenny PR. They're gonna zuck me if I do that. There is an unzucked cell phone coming out, but it will still zuck you, and the name of the phone is Librem 5. Librem. However you pronounce that. So when that comes out, I need to review that. That's part of my video list to review that for you, to show you that that sucker is still gonna suck you up. So unfortunately, see, there's no answer. That's why my solutions, like using radio, are actually the unzucked solutions. The other solutions are more zucked. So that's why I'm going elsewhere, because Librem 5 and all this. No, they're still zucked. Okay, so see you later, guys. Good night, and hope you enjoyed, even though Periscope didn't enjoy, because there's not that many from you from Periscope, but hope you enjoyed the broadcast. No Facebook phone. I'll stick my remove the mic. I don't want to be monitored. There you go. Okay, good night, my friends. See you on Friday, and videos. Watch videos in between. Good night.